It's your boy D-Rich back at it once again, and before I get started with this video, I need everybody to hit that like button right now and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and follow me on all social media platforms at D-Rich TV. Today, I'm here to give you guys the top 5 most overhyped basketball players in middle school history. But I want to put out a disclaimer before I start this video. It is not these kids' fault that they were hyped up. It's social media fault, and it's our fault. We gave these kids an unrealistic expectation that some of them just couldn't live up to. And it's not our fault that some of these kids blossomed early, and it just so happened that it was a camera in the gym to catch it. But let me give you guys the top 5 most overhyped players in middle school basketball history. E.J. Jackson. E.J. Jackson blew up in 2014 after he got a video from City League Hoops that garnered over 2 million views. After that, he became an instant view getter because of his trash talk and his flashy play. EJ is from Inglewood, California, which is most notably known for one of the most popular movies, The Wood, which is like a cult classic for people in our culture. EJ is the founder of Yank Squad Nation, aka YSN, which was a very popular movement a few years back because he had this move that was almost unstoppable, where he would yank the ball back from the defender and throw up the YSN sign, and he had almost every kid in the country throwing up that sign. He had a clothing line, and things looked to be on the rise for EJ Jackson. But then high school happened, which is the case for a lot of these players. They get to high school and people just simply catch up. And when EJ got to high school, people simply caught up, and the flashy handles were just not enough. He most notably teamed up with Marvin Bagley for the Phoenix family on the EYBL circuit. The team didn't really do too well, but they were still able to make the Peach Jam, and they didn't originally qualify for the Peach Jam, but it's understandable because when you have the #1 player, notably in the country, you want them to play in Peach Jam because that sells tickets. That was the last time that people really heard about EJ Jackson. Then news started to surface that EJ Jackson was involved in the robbery of a taco truck, him and a few other people, which was very striking to me because EJ Jackson was such a respectable kid. Whenever I got the chance to talk to him, he always showed the utmost respect, and he was humble, but he was very confident in himself. And unfortunately, when kids get to high school and things don't work out in their favor, they resort to other things, and unfortunately, he had to resort to this. And I hope that things work out for EJ, and he's able to get things together once he gets past this situation. Shamar Moore. Shamar Moore blew up in 2014 after a video from City League Hoops when he was in the 6th grade and he was dunking. Yes, he was actually one of the first most notable players in middle school to actually dunk in a game on camera consistently. Shamar played on the NYBL circuit in its most popular days. This was like the miniature EYBL. It was like the middle school EYBL. And he played for the Oakland Soldiers, where he teamed up with Kyrie Walker, and Zion Harmon was on that team. That was a very popular team. He also played for Master P's P. Miller Ballers, which was also a very, very popular team. And they traveled across the country, played in numerous of tournaments, and this was one of the teams that he was on when he started to blow up and all the cameras were in the gym and he was dunking. Now this is another case of people putting unrealistic expectations on kids. It is not Shamar's fault that he was dunking in the 6th grade, and it just so happened that it was a camera in the gym to catch it. But these are the days that we live in, and once he started to get closer towards high school, people eventually started to catch up with Shamar, and things just didn't go as people thought they would go. After bouncing around to a few different high schools, Shamar eventually ended up at Shadow Mountain in Arizona, which is a pretty popular high school. They have a few good players that play on that team. They're on Ballers Life, Hoop Diamonds, and all of those platforms from time to time. He averaged 19 points and 3 rebounds last year. And when you look on recruiting websites like Rivals and 24/7, they do not have where Shamar will be attending college next year. He's in the class of 2020, and they have him rated as a 2-star. which a lot of people thought he would be at least a 4 or 5 star prospect when he was dunking in the 6th grade. But Shamar still has the opportunity to go to college, play ball, and you never know what will happen. His story is not over yet. 7th Woods. 7th Woods from South Carolina blew up on the scene in middle school due to his insane athleticism. And later on in his career, people compared him to Michael Jordan. Yes, Michael Jordan, the best basketball player to ever touch a ball. When 7th got to high school, he didn't fall off. He actually played very good. As an 8th grader, he was playing high school ball and he averaged 15 points. And as a freshman, he led his team to the South Carolina State Championship basketball game. When 7th was 14 years old, he got a mixtape from Hoop Mixtape that had over 15 million views, and this took his popularity to another level. 7th would go on to play with the USA basketball team at 16 years old, and he would eventually commit to Michael Jordan's school, North Carolina, and that's what garnered him to be labeled the next Michael Jordan. When 7th got to North Carolina, things did not go as people thought they would go. As a freshman, he only played 8 minutes per game. As a sophomore, he missed 17 games due to an injury. In his junior year, he had to battle with Kobe White, and let's say Kobe White won a starting job. In 2019, 7th announced that he would take his talents back to South Carolina, to the University of South Carolina, where he still has time to make a difference, and his story is not over yet. You never know what to expect when he steps on the court at South Carolina. Kyrie Walker. Kyrie Walker blew up in 2016 after a video of him throwing the ball off a glass to himself and dunking on the defender went viral. After this video, Kyrie Walker took off. He was considered a man-child. Every camp that he went to, he dominated the competition, and he was always a good player in middle school and elementary school. But when he dunked that ball and it was on Bleacher Report and House of Highlights and Max Preps, that took his popularity to another level, and Kyrie Walker was must-see all throughout his 8th grade summer. In middle school, Kyrie Walker most notably played for the Oakland Soldiers on the same team as Josh Christopher, Zion Harmon, Shamar Moore, and others. The team was stacked. They played on the NYBL. They dominated that. And this team played against WACG. We All Can Go. You can look that game up on YouTube. The Oakland Soldiers was the real deal. When Kyrie got to high school, he was ranked the top 10 player in the nation, and he had a very solid freshman year, averaging 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. On June 30th, 2017, Kyrie Walker committed to play basketball at Arizona State, which was a shocker to many people. First, because he committed early. Secondly, because he had so many other offers. At the time of his commitment, Kyrie was rated a 5-star prospect on every recruiting platform, but year by year, his ranking would slip. Eventually, Kyrie ended up at Hillcrest Prep in Arizona, which is a popular school and most notably known for DeAndre Ayton, who was the overall #1 pick a few years back. In October of 2018, Kyrie Walker decided that he would decommit from Arizona State University, and this wasn't really a shocker to me, because to me, I felt like he committed to a college too early in 2017 and he doesn't graduate until 2020. To me, that's a little bit too early for any player to commit to any school. Not too long ago, Kyrie Walker announced that he will forego college basketball and prepare for the NBA draft, and a lot of people were in an uproar, definitely Arkansas fans, because for some reason there were rumblings about him playing for Arkansas last year, but it just didn't happen. COVID-19 happened, and Kyrie Walker announced that he'll just get ready for the draft. A lot of people do not know that Kyrie Walker was dealing with a lot of things off the basketball court. He had deaths in the family, and we do not know the effect that this had with him on and off the basketball court, and most especially his mental health. I wish the best for Kyrie. He still has the talent to get paid playing basketball, whether that's in the NBA or overseas. I see him getting paid, and I hope the best for him because he was a nice kid. He was humble whenever I talked to him, and I hope the best for him in the future. Julian Newman. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because I'm pretty sure that all of you guys have your own opinion on Julian Newman. He blew up when he was young. He was on daytime television all the time, and from that point on, he had a target on his back. But I'm really impressed when I see Julian Newman in person at these camps. He doesn't really back down from competition, and he really does have a target on his back. The only problem that I have is he plays at a high school where he doesn't really play too much competition, and he was playing against IMG, and I believe it was the IMG JV team, and for him to have that much notoriety, I would like to see him go against better competition in these high school basketball games, and I don't want to see him dropping 50 on a church basketball team. I want to see him go against real competition. But other than that, he had a target on his back from when he was a kid, and he managed it the best way that he could. It's not his fault that he's not the typical basketball player's height, and it's really not his fault that he blew up the way that he did. A lot of people like to blame that on the parents. I would say that it's probably the parents' fault why he does have such a big target on his back, but maybe that's what they wanted to do, and it seems like they're doing the things that they want to do on the internet because any video that has the Newman family in it, it gets views. So obviously that's what they wanted to do, and I can't knock anybody for doing what they want to do. This is D Rich. Follow me on all social media platforms at DRichTV. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The 5 most overhyped players in middle school basketball history. And a lot of these players' stories are not done yet. They still have time to pan out and get paid playing basketball, which is something that a lot of us dream about, but will never be able to do. I'm out.